Here is your big chance to like, subscribe, and follow. This is truly news. Well, that's not really true. You can like, subscribe, and follow us any old time.
Oh, yeah,
do
that.
that.
True. Yeah.
Because if you don't like, subscribe, and follow us, we feel bad for the whole day.
All day long.
You know, and that happens 6 times a week, so we're in a perpetual state of
Meh.
Like, subscribe, and follow. If you find a weird news story, pass it along to us if you would, because we're lazy and don't want to have to look too hard.
Right.
TITR@netradio.network will get the deed done.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Verkinnes. All the news you're about to hear is true,
Really?
as far as you know.
Coincidence or divine intervention? 2 stories.
I don't believe in coincidence, so that nails it down.
September 11th, 2001. Remember that date?
Vaguely.
Oh, let me remind you.
I know just where I was.
9/11, me too.
Yeah.
So this is the 9/11 date. A young man becomes inebriated, falls asleep, misses his plane. He was supposed to be on one of the planes that crashed into the Trade Center towers. The man's name is Seth MacFarlane. We wouldn't have seen Family Guy, A Million Ways to Die in the West, or the Orville.
Of which I'd only missed the Orville.
Right. I love the Orville.
Yeah. I think that's marvelously done.
Yeah. Terrific show. Anyway, second one. In the first person, I decide to urinate off a bridge. Unbeknownst to me, there's someone walking under the bridge.
Well, this can't end well.
Turned out to be a cop. No matter how much I told him, no, it's raining, it's raining. I got arrested and roughed up, ended up in the hospital for a week and a half, went to jail for a month afterwards because I couldn't post bail. I was released after I waited in jail for my court date. In the meantime, I lost my job and my kids because I wasn't there. While I got time served for public urination and assault, the rest of my life was ruined. Well, I hope you've learned your lesson. You think?
See, I want so bad to say that's a pisser, but I'm thinking I probably shouldn't.
Hold on to that one. Just hold on.
I can't. I have to really.
Okay.
Yeah. A newly.
Nice decorum.
Hardly any. A newly released report from the UK's Air Accidents Investigation Branch has determined that, by the way, 2001, 9/11.
Yeah.
3 years later, Shelby was born. It kind of redeemed the date a little.
Ah, there you go. Okay.
My oldest granddaughter.
Yeah.
A newly released report from the UK's Air Accidents Investigation Branch, the AAIB, has determined that an in-flight incident on June 29th of 2022 could have turned out much differently. According to CNN, on that day, a flying instructor slumped over on a pilot's shoulders as they flew a small plane above Lancashire, England, or as we Americans say, Lancashire. The pilot, who had asked the instructor to accompany him because of a wind condition that day, thought his cohort was just pretending to take a nap, joking around. After landing the plane, they found out the instructor had died of a heart attack.
Dead guy delivery service.
The key word there was after landing the plane.
Yes.
Because otherwise we could have had 2.
Right. Exactly.
They say he likely suffered cardiac arrest as the aircraft was taking off, and thank heavens he got him down safely. Coincidence?
I think not.
I think not as well.
Michael Booley, Joanne Booley, and Josiane Gould were walking 3 dogs through a field on a public path through an estate
Okay.
that was not fully bounded by electric fencing.
Okay.
Allowing a herd of cows to suddenly give chase. Trampling Mrs. Booley after throwing her into the air before being fought off with a rucksack by Mrs. Gould. Mr. Booley said the frenzied and intense attack had exacerbated his post-traumatic stress disorder from service in the British Army. Mrs. Booley suffered a fractured right shoulder, suspected broken ribs, severe bruising, and injuries to her right hand and wrist. Prosecutor Alistair Haggerty told the court the health and safety executive, HSE, visited the Hobhouse estate in the aftermath and advised him to keep the herd in the fields with fully fenced footpaths or no footpaths at all. He was told you need to treat the herd involved in the incident as aggressive and must take all reasonable precautions. Yet, less than a month later, another dog walker was severely injured by the same herd while walking along an unfenced public footpath in a different field.
Well, it worked the last time.
James Johnson, a builder, was walking with his dog at 6 a.m. along a path when he was chased by the herd, knocked down, and trampled. Surrounded by cattle, Mr. Johnson managed to crawl to a tree and climb its lowest branch, only to fall on the ground and be trampled again by a herd which had by then completely encircled him. Oh, thank God, a tree. I'll go up the tree and I'll stay on the... Nope.
Cows can't climb trees.
Yeah, but if you fall out...
Now you've hurt yourself and the cows have you.
Mr. Johnson managed to get to his feet, strike a cow. He needed Mongo.
Didn't he, though? Really?
And escape through a gap in the herd, climbing out of the field over a stile and falling to the ground on a road where a passing member of the public called an ambulance. Mr. Haggerty sustained a concussion, a cut to his head, 2 dislocated shoulders, 3 broken ribs, and 3 snapped vertebrae in the incident, along with accompanying nightmares and memory loss. Well, how does he know he had a nightmare? Come on, pal, you're not fooling anyone. The owner of the estate's been fined £15,000.
I thought they were a herd, not a gang. Cows. They are not your friends.
Apparently not. I mean, they're normally docile, but I'm wondering if these cows happen to be territorial.
Well, see, when you get wild cows out in the open,
yeah,
they are not pets. They're not like Bessie or Bossy or Phil, the
wonder
cow with issues. Moo.
What's that? Rustlers are down by the crossroads going to steal the rest of the herd? Moo, 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 moo. Fetch me my shooting irons.
That was that wolf guy, right? The wolf?
I think so.
Yeah. Who was a weird droopy dog?
Droopy dog, yep.
Yeah. Neurosurgeon, 65-year-old Charlie Tao, or Teo. T-E-O? Teo?
Teo?
Sure. And I want to go home. Teo.
Teo.
Anyway, this is not funny. The 65-year-old appeared before Australia's Healthcare Complaints Commission in February.
Okay.
To defend himself against charges relating to a brain tumor surgery that he had performed on a woman.
What, he didn't put a big enough one in?
Now ABC News reported that Teo said, I took out too much. I took out the wrong bit of the frontal lobe. I actually didn't know at the time. I'm learning from this case. It wasn't negligence, but maybe just some ignorance on my behalf.
Did they buy this?
The woman was left in a vegetative state and died several weeks later. Teo said that one of the complainants against him had been hoodwinked and coerced into filing the charge by Teo's enemies.
Oh, boy.
I did the wrong thing. Was that my intention? Absolutely not, he said.
Yeah, but you still did it, dude.
Yeah. I wish I knew how this came out because I'm thinking anyone this paranoid?
Right.
Really?
Well, the other thing is, medical accidents and surgical accidents happen all the time. That's why they have very often the patient mark the limb that's supposed to be worked on.
Yes. But it's hard to do when you're doing brain surgery.
Right. And what are they supposed to do? A little trepanning to open up part of their skull, mark the lobe they want excised. I don't think so. I think they're relying on your competence as a doctor. And we don't know what happened to him. I can't imagine that flu. That had.
Hang on, I'm looking now.
Okay.
I'm guessing this couldn't have just
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
here we go. Last month, the panel was told Teo attempted to remove a high-grade brain tumor.
Yeah.
Under questioning by the barrister, he made a series of admissions declaring he made an error. He is under practicing restrictions now.
Good. Maybe he should quit practicing and just become a pro.
He cannot operate unless he has the written approval of 2 other neurosurgeons.
Ooh.
Outside the hearing, the doctor said he had been overseas to help in other surgeries in the time between February and Monday's hearing. He has also been questioned now in a second complaint concerning a woman in her 60s from Victoria. This is the woman who died. So there have been at least 2 major complaints against him.
Holy Pete. You know, one I can buy, but you still have to suffer the consequences.
Yep.
2? That's a trend.
One would think.
Yep. What's gotten into his head?
Well, not him.
Mm-hmm.
See, not him, because he's a brain surgeon.
I get it.
Got in his head.
You're the most hysterical person.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Attaboy.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.